It has been a while, hasn't it? I made a mistake. Trying to watch 31, 32 seasonal anime while trying to watch retro anime, while working a full-time job, trying to make videos, rewatching Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and trying to have a social life on the weekends made me crash and burn. The past week felt like a daze. As a result, I have to drop some of the seasonal anime. So I think I dropped like 10 series overall. Just the 10 that I feel I was getting nothing from. I just didn't like at all. Couldn't relate to it. Let's talk about those first. First, it's Akebi-chan no Sailor Fuku. So I'll begin this winter 2022 anime discussion with this this series. I'm not too familiar with slice of life. People say it's cute girls doing cute things, but to me, Akebi-chan is just boring girls doing boring things. There's a creepy. How do I say this? There's an appeal here to people who have fetishes, especially what is it with Cloverworks and feet? This is Nickelodeon all over again. Cloverworks is like obsessed with feet. You see it everywhere. I first noticed it in One Direct Priority. Dress Up Darling has it, and Akebi-chan just this is not an innocent series. It has some very creepy undertones behind it. Either way, it's just boring. I tried to relate with the character. You have this girl that is different from everybody, even what's the different uniform. She meets some obsessive friends, some strange people that like to sniff their toe clippers, and I don't know. I think I can like this genre of anime, but Akebi-chan just doesn't do it for me. Barao no Seretsu, the Rose Warrior. This is, I think, the word one amongst the top trash of the season. Requiem of the Rose King. The story feels like it has potential, but the adaptation is just trash. Nothing but still frames. It's also rushing so fast. It makes so many of the scenes feel underwhelming. It's so rushed. It's doomed. It was dead on arrival, and it never got any better. It's a shame because I wanted to see what happens next in the story, but I just cannot. I cannot relate to this garbage adaptation, and I've seen so much disappointment from the fans too that they don't. This fell apart completely. I mean, it's kind of hard to follow along with the story too because it's rushing through it so fast. But it's a complicated romance anime that I just sadly cannot keep going. Q. This is so. It's like I said before. This anime is trying to develop too many characters at the same time in every episode that it all it does is manage to poorly develop all of them in the process. It's also the premise itself is just boring. It's just a bunch of girls trying to voice act into anime. The only interesting thing about this are when they try to animate the anime they're trying to voice cast for. But just another bland, generic, trope-infested series that just I cannot I just don't like it at all. And it's two core too. It's 24 episodes, so they have no excuse if they can't develop the characters. But they're already doing a bad job at it anyways. Dolls Frontline, Chinese gacha adaptation. It's as lifeless as ever. I don't have much new to say about it since the first episode because it's just more of the same. I feel really bad for Nearly on Red or Theta because he's doing a weekly 2-hour analysis of every episode. A waste of talent that he had to go and choose this. I mean, he chose it because he plays the game, so I can see why he wanted to do that. But essentially, what I said in the first episode video stays the same. Yeah, and just like the copy pasting of the dolls, it just looks so lazy. This one, Fantasia Sango Realm of Legends. It's just not even the fan service can save this series. It's another demon. It's another kill. It's like every episode is just your generic monster of the week. Just kill Oni, move on. Kill Oni, move on. They're trying to build the friendship between the main character and the little demon girl, but the development is just poor. But the desperation in the fan service is hilarious, and not only that, the fan service is ugly. They can't even draw the woman with the flute. They can't even draw her properly. It's just an ugly series. There's nothing really going for it. This bastardization of anime. Kenja no Deshi no wo no Naru Kenja. Infamously one of the worst first episodes ever. It's it's again one of those creepy anime that appeals to people with fetishes, like bathroom fetishes. And it is among the series that are gender bending. It's quite a few this season. But yes, as generic of a isekai as you would think. You know, just some overpowered little girl is killing everything, which kills all tension. They can't even make it entertaining or amusing. So there's no stakes, and I just cannot recover from the horrifying first episode. And I tried to give this a chance, but no, I'm skipping this disgusting series. The World of Laydale. Again, like this is why isekai has such a bad name, because you get all these copy paste series that don't do anything different, just the same thing all over again. As painful as generic as he could be, it revolves around this elf girl that's overpowered, which again, you know what's gonna happen, so it's so predictable. It makes it boring. She's going around looking for her family and doing generic GRPG things. Just again, another painfully bland and boring generic isekai that's gonna get washed away with the rest of them. These isekai actually make me miss Mushoku Tensei. That's how bad these are. Ninjala. I think this is based on a Nintendo Switch game. It looks ugly. The story is ugly. The characters are very very ugly. Just like your typical Saturday morning kids cartoon brings nothing to the table. It's about people getting powers by chewing gum. It's nonsense, complete nonsense. I tried. Sasaki Tomiyano, I dropped that from episode 1. That's the boys love one. It just did not look interesting to me at all. This one I kind of might pick up again. The genius Princess Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt. But I just wasn't. I think I think it was the poor beginning that kind of ruined for me. I think it's gotten a little better if I remember correctly. Unfortunately, I had to cut it. I had to cut the fat, so this one had to go. But maybe once it ends, or maybe later on, I'll pick it back up. But right now, it's just dropped. Let's see. Chokyo 24Q. The worst of the three Cloverworks anime airing this season. It doesn't know what it wants to do. The story is like maybe a Florida song. It is so convoluted. It is so unnecessarily messy and complicated. It's hard to follow along what's going on. It's hard to take serious. It's hard for me to take it seriously because the disasters are almost cartoony. Like one moment the characters are talking on the stage, the next moment they get slammed by a tornado. And this series is obsessed with women's backsides. They're everywhere. It's like it's like it's not even subtle. It's noticeable how they do that. So there's a lot of answers. Nothing degenerate though. Large cast of characters that half of them I like, half of them I don't even like at all. Yeah, but definitely the ugliest and worst of the three Cloverworks anime. Tribe 9. This is probably gonna have soundtrack of the year. A shame because the series itself was trash. It borrows heavily from Shinji and Kaworu from Evangelion. The main characters have that same kind of bond. They killed one of them off though. That was surprising. They actually stuck through with it. The baseball itself is just it's boring. It's just boring, and I just don't see anything. I don't find it interesting or appealing at all. Yeah, what a shame. What a waste of a good soundtrack. So that's what I dropped. Let's see what I'm putting myself up with. 86 is still in production hell. A shame. It's trash anyways. This one. This one's actually pretty nice. I'm Kodama Kawashiri. I mean, there's nothing really new to say about it. It's just more looking into the life of a very strange, sheltered person. But it's amusing. It's amusing at least. But I really wish that the episodes were longer, because yeah. But uh, this one has so this one, the Orbital Children. I watched the first episode. It has potential to become a classic. It looks very pretty. You could tell that the production values are just absolutely beautiful. I haven't finished it yet though, because it's like an hour. Each episode is like an hour long, and I just need time to recover right now. I do plan to get back and make a video on this one though. I think this one has a lot of potential. It looks interesting. It's a sci-fi. I'm just kind of worried that it's gonna add a lot of sci-fi nonsense. A lot of sci-fi series tend to just make overly complicated storylines. But I'm looking forward to finishing this one though, at least. Fantasy be sure. It's a long title. Yeah, the life of an ordinary guy who reincarnated into a total fantasy knockout. Yeah, this is like the surprise of the season for me. It's an isekai, but I actually enjoy this one a lot. I find it very funny. I think that the main two cast, their dynamic is it's hilarious. You know, um, you have Jinguji, he's obviously in the closet. He just hasn't come out yet. He despite being an attractive man, he grew up without women because he has a thing for Tachibana, his friend. Tachibana himself is a straight man, but being put into a little girl's body, his natural girl urges begin to kind of take over, and he starts to kind of be into Jinguji as well. This is written by I think a married couple wrote this series, which explains why it's done on a much, it feels like it's being done on a much more personal level. I'm really enjoying this one. I think it's great. The comedy rocks. I like the opening and ending. I I just not a minute that I'm not a minute goes by that I'm not enjoying this. It's just very entertaining, very funny. They introduce some really nice new characters that are fun. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I hope it does not crash and burn. Police in the Pod. This is written by a woman that used to be a police woman, which explains why there's this natural feeling to it, this edge to it, that yeah, somebody that knows the inner workings of the police is doing this. As a comedy, it is hilarious. I like the comedy. It works for me. Animation, it's beautiful. It's kind of animation is a little slow. A lot of slideshows. Not much really goes on. But the story, it's a solid story. As a comedy, it does wonders. It is. I have hope in this one. You know, I'm curious to see how sadistic Fuji really is, and Kawaii, she's not Kawaii. Miss Kirotsu from the Monster Development Department. This is probably going to be my anime of the season, unless it gets surpassed by Bisco. This is a series that makes fun of everything it gets its hands on. So it's incredibly funny. The humor is very, very, very clever. It's about this organization that makes monsters. This evil organization that makes monsters to fight this generic superhero-like guy who looks like a Power Ranger. The funny part about it is that uh, the woman in charge of making one of the women that's in charge of making the monsters, she tends to go eat in between the shifts, and the guy that makes her food happens to be the guy that's the Power Ranger. That's a funny thing that happens there. There's an idol duel that was in a hilarious episode. The chicken is always hilarious. The the title the episode titles are amusingly long, and the timings and the executions of the scenes tend to be awkward on purpose. The whole funny thing about this is that for being a monster development department, they always fail at making a good monster because of the budget. Like one of them planned to make like a 10 tentacle little girl with poison powers, but because the budget was low, they couldn't afford to give the little girl poison, or to even use 10 tentacles at all, 10 dragon heads. And in fact, they gave the little girl 4 dragon heads, and each one of them has a different voice actor. It's always amusing to watch. Yeah, but this one, every single episode is good. It has not let me down. So it's possibly anime of the season right here. Yeah, but I really enjoyed the ending sequence, the ending song. Demon Slayer. I did say I was gonna start this, but I'm still on the first season. I think I'm like on episode 12 or 11. Yeah, UFO Table is a studio that was made specifically to make Demon Slayer. I am worried though that the studio is making this appear much better than it actually is. The animation is amazing. It's on the same level as Awesome Ranking. It's very beautiful. There are no still frames here. Everything is beautifully animated. So animation wise, I have no complaints about the series. It's actually really impressive how good it looks. But good animation does not write a good story. And this is a shonen series, and I get it. Tenjaro, what's his name? I already forgot the kid's name. Tanjaro. Well, I hope that he evolves from being your average morally obsessed main character. I'm actually more interested in seeing where his sister goes. She's the more interesting of the two, even though she is kind of in the background. But yeah, amazing soundtrack. Also, really good music. It's just I just feel like as I keep going to this and watch the movie and then go towards the current season, I feel like the story will make it weak, and people might even say it's nothing but all animation. But who knows? We'll see. I am enjoying it at the moment. Koroshi Ai, or Love of Kill. This series moves way too slow. And Chateau is a very boring character. They still haven't fixed her character. They did give her some background, some development, but her character is so annoyingly bitter. It ruins the show. I mean, Song is basically the only one doing anything in this series to make it good. He's a very amusing character in his obsession with with this bounty hunter. But now their pasts are beginning to catch up to them. Apparently, they have a past. It's unclear yet, but Song might know about it. He gave a reaction that kind of makes me think that he has something to do with Chateau's parents or deceased father-in-law. Their relationship is funny. It's always funny seeing him try to go after Chateau and Chateau always rejecting his advances. Yeah, but if they can fix Chateau's character, I think this could be a really good series. You know, I find that the premise just very interesting. This show also looks very bright. Something weird something odd going on with the coloring in this series. But hopefully it picks up the pace. Thankfully, it is building up some nice arcs right now. Some nice plot. Some nice plot is really coming out as of the past 1-2 episodes. Lupin Part 6, criminally underwatched. People are need to watch Lupin. It's an amazing series. I talked about it before. I did a video on it. I don't really have anything new to say other than the episodes are just still consistently good. Clever dialogue, clever plot twist, great stories. For an episodic anime, it's been consistent because episodic anime tends to be largely hit or miss. But Lupin has managed to make consistently good episodes back to back. Still, the Mamoru Oshii ones were the best ones, some of the best I've ever seen. The only problem I have with Lupin is that maybe it's too cartoony for its own good. It's kind of hard to take a lot of it seriously. Then again, that's not really its objective. But I mean, come on, the samurai cutting through tanks. I mean, there's zero tension. Lupin will always get away. But he has very nice strong points. I would recommend Lupin the Third, and you don't need to watch anything before it. You can just watch it here and you'll be fine. Orient. The first 3 episodes are garbage. When they introduced Sugomi in the fourth episode, it added a dynamic to the series that made me like it more. I'm kind of hopeful for it now. It's still among the lowest of the season in my opinion, but it has shown me that it has more to offer than what it was doing badly in the first 2-3 episodes. I mean, I think it's a shonen. It kind of feels like another generic fighting demons type story. I think the comedy is the strongest part of it. But if Sugomi wasn't there, I would have dropped this. But yeah, I don't really expect much from Orient. Also, my ranking is still going strong, but it feels a bit underwhelming. I think that it set the bar for its first 12 episodes so high that this second set of episodes does not feel anywhere near on the same level as the first 12 episodes. A shame, really. It's still good. It's still a great series, but I feel disappointed in the second set of episodes so far. Hopefully, it'll get better. By the way, I don't want to repeat myself, so I might go kind of fast. I've talked a lot about these before. Planet Men, it's still garbage. I think the show died for me when Metropolitan Man went away. But at this point, I might as well finish it. I'm almost there. I want to see what is this terrible ending everybody is talking about. I do plan to make a video on Mirai's philosophy of pacifist, pacifism, which I think is flawed and unrealistic. But yeah, this show looks ugly. This show looks ugly. The characters, I get what the writers are trying to do, but their portrayment of Mirai is just makes them feel annoying and insufferable. So definitely, again, one of the worst of the season, unfortunately. But I might also see it to the end. Ryan Man's Club just recently started. It's a sports anime. The first episode gives me ping pong vibes, but nowhere near as good. It's a large male cast of characters with some really good voice actors. I really enjoy a lot of the character interactions. This one, I think there's hope for it, but it's too early to tell. It's too early to tell at the moment. But I was very impressed by the first episode. Rusted Armor, the next Tesla note, except the story. How do I? It's all CGI, but there's a charm to this series. Like this lifeless CGI aside, it's kind of like Tesla note where the story itself is good enough to warrant it some respect, but still weak, still very weak. I haven't liked all the humor in it. The fighting, of course, is horrible because it's really bad animated CGI. You got the big bad that just talks by grunting. But they've been developing the characters, showing backstories. There's always a segment at the end where the staff talk about the setting, which is funny because the settings are embarrassingly done in the in the anime itself. Yeah, no hope for that one. Yeah, Sabukoi Bisco. I think this and the Monster Development series are gonna be one of these two is gonna be my anime of the season. I don't know yet because they're both very good anime. What I like about Bisco is how strange it is. But when they announced to send the Hippo Force to attack him, I thought it was a code name for something, and it's literally giant hippos with rock launchers on their backs. Yeah, they do a really good job in making a very bizarre story that works. People are already mad about the execution and the flashbacks. And I didn't mind it at all. People just didn't want to think when it came to that. Yeah, but again, Bisco is a great protagonist. I always like hot-headed protagonists because you usually get the very weak, boring, morally obsessed main character that is painful to watch. But Bisco, right off the bat, he's serious. He means business. He has solid dialogue. He's a great character. I like how aggressive he is. You have the doctor that joined him. He's voiced by the same voice actor by Otokawa from Odd Taxi. I like the voice actor for this character, Milo. There's some I feel like they're gonna end up together. There's some real strong brotherly friendship going on there. Yeah, but aside from what I said in the first episode, it's still going along very well. They're exploring the very strange world of this anime. It's so interestingly, it's so weird and interestingly amusing. I had hope though because there's a legend who wrote the script for this. I have very high hopes for Bisco. Always enjoy it. Maybe it'll be anime of the season, either this or the Monster Development one. I like the music too. The strongest mage with the weakest crest. I mean, they at least try to make the fights interesting. They really do a good job of exploring the technicality behind how mages work, the spells. The main character will talk about what he's doing as he fights. He's also very strong. Maybe he's too strong, but at least they still make it interesting in how he breaks down in detail how he's deploying his spells and how he analyzes the demons. His little cheerleading squad in the background, they're pretty nice characters too. They're fun to watch. The dragon girl appeared recently. She's also a good character. I think this is a pretty solid 7 out of 10 so far. I don't even know what I give it, but yeah, I think this one will be enjoyable. I don't really have much to complain about this one. The main character looks like Lelouch way too much. It reminds me. Attack on Titan, the final season, part two. Now, say what you want to say about Attack on Titan. It is a very powerfully engaging story. It is the most popular thing I think going on right now. The concern is about the ending. A lot of people don't like the ending, so they're worried. They're wondering if the staff is gonna go with an anime only ending or not. Nobody knows yet. Yeah, but I mean, Mappa is trying. You know, I still remember this series looking much more beautiful when Wit Studio took over. But they have tried. It's like this the sequence where uh, Aaron's dad is in the forest and he spins around. They spent the whole budget on animating those 10 seconds. Just the and then Aaron too. Just he's playing the protagonist and the antagonist role. And who's outsmarting who? You know, it's Zack trying to outsmart Aaron, but Aaron trying to outsmart. You know, they introduce time travel, which I don't know. Time travel sometimes just makes the story unnecessarily complicated. Um, what else is going on? I'm only watching it for the Card Titan for peak. I'm only watching this for peak. I still don't like Gabby. I have a lot of problems with Gabby. There's a reason why so many people don't really like her character. But maybe I'll come to like Gabby. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, but Attack on Titan, as powerful as it always is, I'm very concerned how it's going to end. How it's going to end, though. But definitely a highlight of the season for those of us who have been watching this since it first came out. Vanitas no Carte. I have nothing really new to say about the case study of Vanitas. It's good for the same reason season one is. You know, solid comedy, cute animation. I like the little goofy animation. Sometimes it doesn't work in this series. In this one, it does. I just like the style of the dialogue. I really like it. All that really olden style dialogue. Yeah, I look forward to it a lot. I just don't have anything new to say about it, really. And last but and possibly least, it's uh, My Dress Up Darling. I think people lost their minds too much with the fan service. I think that's really all this is getting appeal for. Like, yeah, I get it. She's attractive. They draw her doing a lot of lewd things. But the main character, the guy, Gojo, I find him very annoying as a character. He has this woman that is all over him, and he just decides to always run away from the situation. He has a creepy obsession with dolls, and I still think it's amusing that Kitagawa is obsessing over those one of these pornographic video games. Yeah, but I don't really see much besides the fan service. I think this is getting over. I think there's overhyped. I think this series is essentially overrated. Take away the fan service. No one really has anything to say about it. You know, if Gojo was much more assertive, not such a coward, I think I would have liked it a lot more. Kiragawa is just just she's probably the only reason why I even want to. Well, obviously everybody's watching it for her, but yeah, I think Cloverworks has really fallen. So I don't really expect much from Dress Up Darling. I think it's getting praised way too much. Anyway, that's the update for seasonal anime. As I get my life together, I will try to make a second video towards the end. Yeah, that's about it. If I was to recommend you what to watch, I will definitely recommend you watch. Yeah, Fantasy Bijo Juniko Oji-san, the one with the life with an ordinary guy who reincarnated into a total fantasy knockout. I would definitely recommend Miss Kiratsu from the Monster Development Department. Also, my ranking because historically it's an important series for anime. And Sabuki Bisco, of course. And I would add Attack on Titan just because it's a very powerful story. I'm just concerned about the end of it. Yeah, those would be my recommendations for what's up at the peak of the season. Well, right now I'm tied between the Monster Development anime and Sabikoi Bisco. That's all I got. That's the update. Thank you for listening.